Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Bob here. Welcome back to some more Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3. Now, I know it's been a couple years since I've done a guide for this game, but recently I have received my very first commission for a character guide for this game. Yeah, I know I've only had this advertisement up for like 3 years, but this is the first one. I need to advertise it more. Anyway, so yeah, the old deal was send me $20 through PayPal and I'll cover a character of your choosing. And today's character happens to be Gotenks from Tenkaichi 3. Yeah, I know, weird. So, I got an email from someone, I'm gonna say who, because we didn't go over if he wants to be named, but basically it's like, Gotenks is so prevalent in fighters these days, he wanted me to cover a different version of Gotenks as a refresher. If I remember that right offhand. It's been a little while since I've got the email. I'm sorry to the dude who sent it to me because it's been like a month. I know, I'm sorry, school's a bitch, but yeah. So, Gotenks, yeah, Gotenks is kind of a terror, as of right now in April 2019. He's kind of debatably the best character in the game next to Piccolo and I think Bardock. Yeah, Bardock's probably the best character in that game still too. So, yeah, as opposed to the nightmare that is Gotenks mixing your shit up 50-50 every single day in that game. This Gotenks is a little more mellow. So I've talked about like Goku in the past and like all the forms of base, like Goku up to Super Saiyan 3. And every single one of them is like relatively mid-high tier, I would say. Gotenks here, first of all, I've not consulted the game facts, guys. These are entirely my own notes. If I were to say Gotenks in this game, it's like he's this weird combination of having every form has like its own unique like strength, like one unique strength to it that's really good, but the rest of it is like some of the worst things I've ever seen in this game. Oh my god. So yeah, we got some stuff to go over this game. But first of all, base form. Yeah, no, I'm taking this from the ground up. I don't think he's specified to do all of the forms, but I'm gonna do it anyway because someone's got to talk about this goddamn character, right? Okay, so Gotenks. I'm gonna start with this. So Gotenks' like whole character is that he's a showman basically. He wants to be. So as a result, after a lot of his moves, there's like some pose. Some kind attached to the end of it. It's like he's like a weird. Actually, wait. 2007 for this game, Namco Bandai did publish it, although it wasn't made by them. I'm gonna guess like just some ideas were taken for the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure game. Just an idea. I could be entirely wrong about that. In fact, I'm pretty sure I am, but it's just kind of funny to see the similarities. What the hell? Okay. Also, by the way, I'm recording this game through an emulator, Dolphin to be exact, so if you guys are impressed by the sheer graphical fidelity of this, yeah, we need to bug Namco about getting a high definition report in this game. Please, that'd be great. This game's good. At least I believe so. Alright, so enough of that. So, Gotenks. From the ground up, he has some good moves. Some. I say some. Okay, so I mentioned before, like, every form has, like, its one good move. So, for base form, it is False Courage, without question. I've talked about False Courage in the past, but I've never really elaborated too deep into it, so we'll cover a little bit here. For Super Saiyan regular, there's no Super Saiyan 2, it's just Super Saiyan 1, because, no lightning or anything. Although it should be Super Saiyan 2, whatever. For Super Saiyan 2... Fuck, I did it. Oops. It's actually Galactic Donuts. And it's not good for the reasons you expect. It's actually fully unblockable. Like, I'm pretty damn sure this move is actually 1% unblockable. Much like a couple other weird super moves that have animations attached to them, like Super Boo's version of it, what Gotenks absorbed, you might die this time. A couple moves like that generally tend to be unblockable, and this one, yeah, I'm pretty damn sure it is. So yeah, good stuff. And with Super Saiyan 3, it's actually, so he has the Vice Shout. This move is unblockable. This is what makes like telekinesis for Frieza so damn good, because this is really strong. Now, is it costly? Oh, absolutely. This move is not worth it's not worth its default weight. If you go into custom matches, then yeah, certainly it could be useful, but for normal matches, yeah, not so much. So anyway, back to base form. Let's just cover these things from the ground up. So I want to say straight up, Gotenks is not a good melee character. Like, he's not that great. So, of course, I don't need to explain why, because, he's like... I say it as I just decked from all... What the hell? That was weird. That's not like it should land from there. Huh, okay, well, some phantom hitboxes aside. No, but most of the time, Gotenks has really bad normals. Like, his charge to the right, it's like this really piddly like side attack. You'll seldom be able to land it like in any situation unless you're dead center in front of your opponent. Which at that point, yeah, backdashes are really good in this game. So good luck with that. Side smash or charge to the left is a little bit better because low more ground still has that whiff recovery, as you can see. Although again, still gotta like how every time he does one of these, he does like a pose. That's pretty cool. I will say that. Although I guess what we're talking about with poses, his counter stance is this. It's kind of funny. I like it. Anyway, down smash. No. Just so I will say, like, it is a unique animation. I don't know how hurt boxes work in this game. I'm not sure if this will actually evade certain attacks, but if it does, yeah, that could be pretty good. That requires a little more labbing, and since this game doesn't have the best training mode, no such luck. Let's just take this back to the center and it makes it a little easier on ourselves, shall we? After we revert again, of course. However, moving from there is where we actually start getting some good stuff. Sort of. Not really. So, for your actual smash attacks, you have a few things. 2 flying kicks, a key cannon, and a heavy finish. The flying kicks being on the first and second slot is pretty good, because that means that if you go for a sweep mid-combo, you can easily restand the opponent. So, not horrible. You could... Oh yeah, taunts. You could do it far worse. This is one of the reasons why Ultimate Gohan is really good with combos, is because he can just drop it in there. It's pretty good. But it is redundant, of course, needless to say, to have it on these two. So, yeah, not the greatest thing in the world. Key cannon itself, it's terrible, actually. So one of the reasons being is because it takes a while to fully charge, because base form and everything. But other than that, like, if you do fully charge it, you can't get the follow-up, like, whatsoever. You can't get the dunk that some characters can get. You can't get, like, the square follow-up. Or I guess you can, never mind. I take the point back. I swear I tested that earlier, but it didn't work. Okay, well, actually solves the problem of his then. That I had, so, okay. What else? Let's see on top of that. Heavy finish. Heavy finish being at a tail end, it's okay. If you were to peg the opponent from the back with this, like, it will stun them to do some damage, but again, all these is like, you have to be in your opponent's face, which with Gotenks is not that good. Yeah, again, because of the short range. Not only that, but because you're in base form, you have very low hit stun, so characters with high armor like Nappa or Broly, it's not going to be easy to bust them at all, so frankly, with Gotenks in base form, I would recommend sticking to his Blast 2s or his Ki Blast. The Ki Blasts are questionable. I wouldn't recommend it too much. His charge Ki Blast does come out pretty quickly though, and it does cause a flop stun, so it's okay. Again, you're not gonna be like relying on it or anything, but for what Gotenks lacks in actually good tools, he got some stuff. Now, the strangest thing about Gotenks base form, I will say though, is that he has no extensions out of his low sweep, and this I have tested actually. Thank you very much. Like, usually when you do the trip on the opponent with a low sweep, you can press triangle to immediately go for follow-up attacks. With him, it's just not the case. Like, I am mashing is not working, so not sure what the deal with that is. That's a weird choice, but alright. Lift strikes is your standard, like, Goku-esque kind of like upwards lift. It gets the job done. Unfortunately, amongst all of Gotenks' moves, that's probably one of the better range rolls of his. So you can see that between his really poor toolkit of smash attacks, the charge attacks having so much recovery, although they are flash as hell, so whatever. And just the lack of good approaching, he's not really good. Like, I would say he might be one of the worst base forms in the game, honestly, for Saiyans. Like, I don't say that lightly. That's actually pretty true. Also, another thing is that if you whiff a dashing attack towards the opponent, you're left pretty open. And if they sidestep you, you're even more dead. So, that's not good. I would, yeah. If you're gonna use Gotenks, even if you're trying to meme on someone, just don't use this form at all. So yeah. Now talking about his last 2 attacks. Well, actually, should we talk about the last ones? Yeah, I guess so. So his first one is After Image. After Image is pretty self-explanatory. So you're able to stockpile a multitude of like vanishing moves that allow you to self-vanish like out of a situation. It's generally, in my opinion, the best one out of the After Image moves you can get. After Image Strike just being slightly behind it, and Wild Sense being the worst by a country mile. So overall, he's got a pretty good evasion tool. Let me see. False Courage, though, this is where things get good. So I'm gonna say that this kind of contradicts my opinions on him being a really bad melee character, and say this kind of elevates him a little bit. So, False Courage, I've probably talked about this before. It just makes you, nothing will flinch you ever. Like, just completely gnarly, only throws can break it. I think you can even, I haven't tested this a lot because, again, I'm a little out of practice with Tenkaichi 3 as of lately, been more focused on fighters. But if memory serves, I think you can even tank, like, Blast 2s. If not Blast 2s, like, you can tank things just shy of those. Like, you can go right through Charge Ki Blasts. You can just tank everything, it's amazing. The problem with it... Oh wow, it's only one. That's actually pretty cool. The problem with this, though, is that it lowers your physical attacks, actually. So, even in spite of the fact that you can go through a lot of shit, it doesn't last too long. And you can't pressure the opponent too much. So, you know, take it for what you will. This is easily, like, his best trait, though. Like, anyone with False Courage, I feel like immediately takes them, like, from... Like, it just knocks them up a full tier. Like, by themselves. I mean... Utilizing it to its fullest extent does require custom setups, but I mean, for the most part, this is pretty good still. Like, you can make a free approach and just like get away with anything. It's great. This forces your opponent to block, pretty much. Which, I mean, against Gotenks is not the scariest thing in the world, considering this crap, but it's far better than nothing, I would say. Alright, so as far as the last two moves, they're actually not too bad for base moves, I would say. So his first one is the full power energy wave. Now, full power... Sorry, he was against the wall. That didn't get all the hits out. Now, a couple things about this. Full power energy wave... I've never actually covered a character that has this move, by the way. So, it's good and bad. So, the good thing is, you know, it's a beam attack that comes out with no charge. Pretty good. Like, just immediately bypasses the charge. Free boost. Just comes right out and it does its hits. The bad thing about it is that... let's get it out again. The hitbox is pretty small. Like... It's roughly the length, like the girth of Gotenks' body himself, so not great. I would probably use this to like keep the opponent honest, like if they're trying to approach you, if they're trying to use Ki Blast, because it will beat those. It has uses. I would not like just drop this as a like. I would not use this as a pressure tool, or if you know the opponent's going to be moving, because. No. With this kind of size, the opponent's gonna dodge this easily. On top of how telegraphed it is, and it's not that fast. Like this is not a special beam cannon in the slightest. This thing is pretty slow, so you know you gotta take it for what it is. Now his other one is High Speed Rush. This is the most generic attack in all of Dragon Ball Z, like period. Yeah. High Speed Rush, despite being the most boring thing in human history, it does have good traits. So one of them being that doing High Speed Rush, it'll track the opponent pretty much full screen. Like, look at this. That covered like half the entire arena right there. That's nothing to sneeze at. I also believe this might track the opponent too. I believe this is one of the versions that actually does that. So let's have Boo actually moving around a little bit. Or you can try Genocide Blast, why not? But no, this is the type of rush attack that will actually track the opponent, so it's pretty cool. I mean, again, this is the most boring thing on God's green earth, so it's not the greatest option in the world, but for what it is, it could be worse. You could have a energy volley because BT3 does not like energy volleys whatsoever. It's terrible. So as for his ultimate, that's where things get a little better. His ultimate is actually a big tree cannon, which is this guy right here. It is essentially just a Final Flash. Big tree cannon is pretty good though because, excuse me, with Gotenks' base form, it's actually it only consumes 4 Ki bars. So, despite the slight hit and damage it can do, it's pretty good. I would say this is honestly pretty awesome. Yeah, honestly, I didn't complain about that too much. It's a low power version of a Blast 2 he gets later on, so it does its job. Not too bad. I've got nothing to complain about. It's pretty decent. So, I believe that covers everything about Gotenks' base form. It's definitely lower, like far lower on the tier list. Like this is competing with Chaozu pretty much. This is not that good. Yeah, I would not use this form ever if you that said though, if you want to abuse False Courage and just dick with people, yeah, I guess there's an option, but I would not utilize this. So, yes guys, for those who play fighters, there are low tier versions of Gotenks out in the world. You just have to look for them. So, as for Gotenks' Super Saiyan version, this is where things pick up a little bit. So, first of all, he actually has access to some decent stuff. So, Flying Kicks is still on Smash 1, pretty good. Key Cannon on Smash 2, alright. Heavy Finish Smash 3, better. And another Flying Kicks, you know, whatever, it's fine. Oh, wow, really? I thought I already looked at that, okay. Well, I guess I take back what I said, guys. There's literally no reason to use Super Saiyan or base form Gotenks. Because False Courage is still on Super Saiyan form. I'd swear he didn't. I'd swear he had something else, but I guess not. Alright. And it also has High Tension. Yeah, High Tension will actually crank up your some of your stats, physical attack and special. I believe this is the one that also that won't expire at a certain time limit and won't go away if you use special attack. Yeah, it does. High Tension is really, really good actually. Like this move right here, it's really good if you're a melee attacker because if you this does not expire. It's just a free 15 to 20% boost to all of your physical attacks for like nothing. And of course, it lingers until you do. I like the Bruce Lee stance. I just noticed that. It lasts until you do a special move. Yeah, pretty decent outside. All right, so talking about his melee attacks, not much has really changed. He's still got the same. He's still got most of his stuff intact. Some things have been adjusted a little bit. I'm liking all the Bruce Lee stances here. I've actually not noticed that before. It's kind of funny. A lot more focus. Definitely a lot more kung fu. It's kind of great. That said, though, there's not a lot to be actually had here. His up charge is still the same, which is kind of crap. Down one is okay. Like for a down charge move, this actually does. This does hit from left to right, so not bad. But you know, again, no range, as with the case of a lot of Gotenks' attacks. This one's got a weird like animation though. Like it delays when you fully charge it, but like it's really fast when it comes out. So I don't know if you want to fake your opponent out, this might work, but I wouldn't rely on that too much. So yeah, at least they don't have. But the Bruce Lee stance, it doesn't look like it lingers as long as with Gotenks' base form, so that's an improvement, but it's not great. At least you still get your poses, I suppose. Oh yeah, I didn't talk about the throw either. Fuck, I completely forgot that. Every form of Gotenks has the same throw. You know, standard pummeling. Nothing too great there. It's generally a really good mid-combo throw if you want to ensure that you're going to hit like with a Blast 2 or something. Yeah, in terms of like actually starting a combo though, it can be a little finicky because the opponent is likely to collide with an object or something. So dragon throws are like or like the punching attacks are pretty good, but I won't rely on it too much. So I gotta say though, I'm kind of liking the range of this on his normal smash charge attack. It looks like it has good forward reach. Admittedly, I have the least practice with Super Saiyan Gotenks, as you could probably notice. Overall, not that bad though. His special attacks here are definitely much better though. So first of all, Big Tree Cannon is just regular special attack. 8100 points of damage. Fair amount better than the full power energy wave. I would definitely say so. Yeah, no, this is not too bad. Also, speaking of those, Galactic Donuts. Yeah, this is where it gets really good. Galactic Donuts, I've had this done to me many times before, and this is one of the reasons I hate fighting like Super Boo. It's fully unblockable, so if your opponent is trying to block it and it comes out, yeah, it's not happening. It can be bypassed by certain things like Android Barrier, which is a sparse countermeasure, but for the most part, this is pretty much going to hit the opponent. Now, the bad thing, 3 bars, and it's slow as piss. Also, the fact that like if it lands, that damage is pretty much set unless you boost it through custom builds. And I think it's also got a pretty limited hitbox, or pretty limited range too. Let me test that really fast, actually. Yeah, that doesn't reach very far. Like, even Big Shoot Cannon hits, probably gonna hit from here. Yeah, that's like, one of the hits didn't land, but that still goes all the way, so. Yeah, its speed and its range do slow it down. I think it tracks a little bit. I haven't been able to test this against a live CPU so far, or at least one that's willing to get, like, one I have the mindset to attack with this, but this is pretty alright. Like, if you're up close and scrapping, I would say this is a pretty good option. There's honestly far worse you can do with. So yeah, not too bad. So, for Super Saiyan, I would say Gotenks is pretty good. Like, far below Goku, maybe slightly below Vegeta, because I know Vegeta has really good Super Saiyan forms in this game. Like, goddamn does he. He's alright. Probably lower echelon, but he could have far worse. I would say that, you know, False Courage definitely elevates this a great deal. High Tension especially helps you because it drops the attack power from False Courage. So, not too bad overall. Alright, so. Low Sweep is still the same. Lift Strike is still the same. Yeah, pretty much like most things that Gotenks could do before is pretty much like still intact. Now, I will say one cool thing about Gotenks that I should give him credit for is the hitbox of this. Like, this move, the flying kicks, this is a really weird-ass hitbox. Like, this like, hits from places it should not connect whatsoever. Like, it's really weird. Like, there's magnets at the bottom of his feet. I don't understand this. It's really weird, but you know what? It's still good. I would say this is not that bad. So, yeah, pretty good stuff. Also, he loses the funny pose. I will. So, yeah, Gotenks Super Saiyan form. Okay. Now, as for the super move, you guys know what this is. It's, of course, Super Ghost Kamikaze Attack. Also, sorry for my voice right now. Like, I am dying at the moment. This, I've never been a fan of the ghosts, in all honesty. I know that, I believe I heard it's got some weird traits in the past, but I don't know what those traits are offhand, so, eh. Now, as for the ghosts themselves, Gotenks spits out 4 and shoots them at the opponent. Now, a cool thing about this move in this game is that it is way faster than BT2. Like, Tenkaichi 2, this move is borderline useless. It's horrible. It's also got really good tracking. Yeah, I tried to use this move in BT2. It's not that good whatsoever. It also doesn't have so it's not like Raging Blast also where it'll have a cutscene attached to it, which is pretty cool, but not so much here. So, if you want to utilize this, you absolutely can. I can't speak for its priority. I think it'll get beaten up by beams, unfortunately. But if you want to tag it at the end of a combo, it'll probably do a job. Let me see it really fast. It does look like there's a bit of a startup delay to it, but honestly, that might be for the best for certain situations. But you know, besides that, you can do worse. So, game plan for this one is I would put stock into your blast 2 or your blast 1s. Honestly, blast 1s and blast 2s. Like, being real, you're gonna be unimpressed by Gotenks' melee side, but on like the blast 1 and blast 2 side, he's pretty good. Like, this is nothing to scoff at. Oh yeah, Big Tree Cannon also. I forgot to talk about that move. Oops. Big Tree Cannon. First of all, I just want to say, this move is really pretty to look at. Like, dude, BT3 has a really good graphics engine, and this just really solidifies it. This is nothing to scoff at. This looks really nice. It's also, you know, it's literally just like a modified version of Final Flash. I don't think it needs to be a secret, so pretty cool. It also got multiple hitboxes. It does multiple hits, so when you use it, I think this will beat some other stuff that comes towards it, so it's kind of cool. There are a few instances where that will be useful, but it will definitely help you out in scenarios where, like, if the opponent does something that'll suck up 1 or 2 hits, like, this will still connect most of it. Now, again, it's been a while since I played this game. I don't remember what those situations are, but when they do arise, I know that it's pretty good, so not too bad. I do appreciate this move quite a bit, so yeah, Gotenks pretty solid in Super Saiyan form. So, the dreaded Super Saiyan 3 form that everyone deals with in FighterZ. Again, good to say, he's not that great. Goku is universally the better Super Saiyan 3 in this game, just bar none. I'm just gonna completely say that. This form is not that good. But that said, though, he does have some cool shit about him. Like, not gonna lie about that. So first of all, obviously, this is one of the few forms of a Super Saiyan transformation that's above 2 that does not have a rolling hammer. Like, Super Saiyan 2 Gohan has one. Super Saiyan 3 Goku, of course, has one, as well as Super Saiyan 2 Goku. Gotenks does not have a rolling hammer, so unfortunately, that by itself really plummets Gotenks' usability, because rolling hammer, if you're familiar with this game's like combo system, when you're doing the infinite like combos from the front of the opponent, your opponent can, when you're in max mode, you can just continue hitting square and it'll keep doing a combo. The trick to this though is of course that you can start blocking it, right? But your opponent cannot block you if you're hitting from the back. They have to either Z counter or do the L1 escape. So yeah, that kind of forces them into the situation. So that's pretty good, as well as become the free punish them too. So yeah. Now, not having rolling hammer takes that away. It ruins some of your combo game, of course. Gotenks is, again, across the board, his physical attacks are not that good. But I would say arguably this might be like his best iteration. So first of all, Vice Shout. This move is so good. Like, I know I've been giving Gotenks some shit up a ton now, but this move just completely nullifies a lot of those problems. This move has range, it's unblockable, it's like telekinesis where it'll paralyze the opponent. This allows you to set shit up. Like, this is kind of like Fat Toss for Majin Buu and FighterZ, if you're familiar with that. So, keeps the opponent locked for like 3 seconds to 5 seconds. This is like really strong. They can break out sooner if they have the right items for it. I don't remember what those are offhand, but yeah, no, this move can really fuck people up. And unlike telekinesis, the hitbox is fucking huge. It takes a little longer to reach if it's farther away, but up close, you are not dodging this whatsoever. This is dirty as hell. Now again, this is for two blast gauges at the base or in normal punches, but you can lower this to 1 using custom setups. I would highly recommend that. This move, it cannot be slept on. This is so strong. Like, it's really good. So, yeah, free approaches, really fast. Like, if you're baiting your opponent right, you can fuck him up so hard. And of course, finish sign. So I got something wrong actually. High tension actually raises the speed at which you charge your ki. It doesn't raise the damage for your blast 2s, but high tension does. Actually, I might not have said that, so I might have been so right. Anyway, so yeah, finish sign is the one you want. This is on Vegito, and this is what makes him a fairly strong character. It lasts forever until you do a blast 2 or an ultimate. So yeah, a free 20% boost to your attack, pretty good. I would say it's not bad. In fact, to illustrate this, if I do the regular square combo, 1830, finish sign, 2020. So yeah, I'd say that's a good chunky 15%, 20%. I think I calculated the 15% in the past. I could be wrong. Not a big deal. Still a pretty good boost across the board. So that alone does make him, between Vice Shout and Finish Sign, Gotenks Super Saiyan 3 is way better in melee attacks. Still not great though, because this is still an issue. So, first of all, Ki Cannon is not horrible, but this should not be on the first slot for smash attacks. That's not too good. It stifles some of his combo capability, and it could be way better. So, take it where you will. Heavy finish. I don't get this move. Like, I love like the baseball windup. Pretty neat. It, like Super Saiyan 3s across the board, this does have a fairly quick charge time. In fact, it's so fast you can sort of combo into like a very strong charge version. Not always. I think there's ways to actually increase this or lower this charge time. Not too sure about that, but this is still pretty good. Now everything else kind of falls apart with this though. Now I think I tried in the past. I think I saw that Rush Ki Wave is like plus on block if you do it correctly. I don't believe that's the case, but there's that. Okay, cool. At least it still does have that, and I'm remembering that correctly. Alright, so... Well, the problem though with Rush Key Wave is that it's still pretty situational. You're really going to be landing this in a combo anyway at full charge. The only way you'll get this to land full charge is if you land a full charge finish, heavy finish. And then, like, even then, if you do get a fully charged heavy finish, you generally want to go for something else. Like, you want to go like for a full combo string and then into low sweep. There's so many better options in my book. So, yeah. Oh yeah, I guess his charge attack changed again. I think that's one just an invert one from his base form. That's weird. That one's back. That one... The headbutt is obnoxious though, because if you... you can see how loud of an animation this is. Like, if you whiff this, you're dead. Also, his up one is basically a volleyball attack now. All these moves... Wow, that was lag. Hold up. Trying to space this correctly. Eh. Besides the Van hitboxes, this could be far better. Like, this is not Cell's, like, charge attacks whatsoever. That just, like, covered the whole screen, basically. But, you know, at least he does get a little bit better with his fur transformations. Although, I would rather him have the Super Saiyan down smash attack, if you know what I mean. It's not that great. So... yeah, from that though, like, these are still really strong. I guess we should talk about Big Tree Cannon is pretty much untouched from how it was in Super Saiyan 1. It does pretty much the same damage as one does in Super Saiyan 1, like with 8500. Still eclipsing full power energy wave, but not great, I would say. Dynamic Missile Barrage, oh boy, this is the move. So... first of all, I remember that none of the Gotenks' bullshit moves from FighterZ are in this game, so don't worry about that. But fucking Dynamite Missile Barrage is such a weird move. So I guess they actually improved that a little bit. That used to be 4 in Tenkaichi 2. I guess not anymore. You can see how little I use Gotenks in Tenkaichi 3 for good reason, because Gohan exists. But this move is still okay-ish. So here's the thing about the full power energy waves. Full power energy waves were nerfed to shit in Tenkaichi 3, where they used to have really strong tracking in BT2, but not so much anymore in BT3. Like, if you deal with a lot of characters, you're gonna miss a lot of stuff. Like, Lightning Arrow from with Maju just is dead pretty much. This move though, this is one of the few volley attacks in the game that has really good tracking. And part of that's because the hitboxes are fucking fat and they track the opponent really well. And they also go on a straight line pretty much. Yeah, this move is nothing to scoff at. You can still only one attack is really missing the opponent. Yeah, occasionally one will miss, but for the most part, these are landing bang on. So, pretty good, I would say. Not too shabby. Again, this will be beaten out by a lot of stuff, like beams, but... for the most part, this is terrifying, honestly. The sheer speed of it, the hitboxes, this move is not actually that bad. For a Gotenks thing, this is pretty good, I would say. So, yeah, I'm disappointed Flying Kicks is on the back of this, but Flying Kicks can be used at the back end of a combo if you're using it like on a backturn opponent, so not terrible. Could be way better, but you know, whatever. So the last thing to talk about is, of course, charging Ultra Boo Boo attack. I love this attack so much. So first of all, I think this attack is a charging rush in this game. So automatically not great. I would rather this be a projectile, but yeah. Also, as opposed to the later games, Piccolo will always come out even if you're fighting him or something, because you know, coding and all that stuff. So pretty decent. It could be far faster on startup. Like, this is not Dragon Fist or Burst Rush whatsoever. This does drift though, so it will catch the opponent if they're trying to run away. So that's pretty cool. I don't think you can combo after it. Even if you could, you don't have the meter to Dragon Dash after them. So unfortunate, but it could be far worse. Anyway, so I did actually want to try something out really fast. Ooh, okay. I want to see if the volley attack or big tree can will come out for the end of the combos in max mode, and it looks like the big tree can does. That's kind of neat. So, wait, did he actually just do that? I like how the fucking Kamehameha wave stance is what his counter is. That's great. I love it. So, also, yeah, this is still pretty good. His Ki Blast in this form are still pretty decent because, you know, Super Saiyan 3 and all that stuff. So, yeah, not too bad. Now, if I were to give a generalized game plan, obviously, abuse these like no one's business, of course. Like, now, one thing I do want to say, though, because you are Super Saiyan 3, let me just go ahead and burn some meter. Super Saiyan 3s naturally have a pretty poor charge speed. Like, you can just see it from my bars. This charges way slower than anything else. It actually takes some work to get to full bars because, yeah, it makes sense, I suppose. That's one drawback to having heightened hit stun. Otherwise, there'd be like no reason to use base forms whatsoever. So, yeah, apart from that, though, Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks is probably the best one you want to go with. You do lose False Courage, which does suck. I will fully admit that. But for everything else you get, though, this is not too bad. Let's see. Is there anything else? Nope. Not too much. So, yeah, no. Gotenks probably tops out, like, dead in the middle of the tier lists with a lot of other characters, like some of the generics of Super Saiyans 1 and 2. Probably, like, lower versions of Cell. Definitely Frieza's mid-tier as well. He's not really competing too high up there, but for flashiness in Super Saiyan 3, you can get away with stuff. But the problem with Gotenks is that he is really meter dependent, of course, because, you know, you have to burn Blastox in order to utilize these because they don't come too easy. You're taking a gamble whenever you try and make an approach on that opponent. And, you know, anytime you're going for an attack, if you whiff, you're doing a silly pose, and you can't really do anything about that, so, yeah. Take that for you will. If you want to be a Gotenks player, there are far worse options you can go with. Rest in peace, Yamcha in this game. Holy crap. But for the most part, across the board, not too bad. You can do with far worse. So, as far as custom builds, definitely lower that Blastox usage and make it charge a lot faster. If you want to use Super Saiyan 3, make him charge Ki a little bit quicker by investing in your Ki gauge. So, it's pretty good. You don't need to invest in damage for Gotenks, though, because Gotenks generally plays a good control game with shit like this and, you know, this. So you don't really need to invest in the offense too much. Focus more on utility. If you want someone to really smash someone's face in, definitely choose Super Saiyan 3 Goku, like, without question. I can't compare Gotenks in this form to the future iterations in Raging Blast 1 and 2 because I literally never use them in those games because, well, also because it's been a few years since I played the games anyway. So, yeah, if you're looking to take your aggressions against a Gotenks out on a lower tier version of the Gotenks because you can't find it in fighters, this is a good option, I would say. This is much more manageable, I would say. Sorry, my voice has been a little fucked up today. It's been rough. So, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Next up, I'm actually going to be doing a guide for Nova Shenron. I'll be a little bit more able to talk for that one, so don't worry about that. And, yeah, take care.